rich are getting richer and the poor are suffering more and more from day to day. As I said earlier, if we have equal treatment, if we have equity, everybody can survive in this big city. There is a lot for everybody. It's no right for one person or a group of people to just hoard everything. And we have to scribble to get the crumbs that fall from the
Now.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez.
Well, as the Occupy movement continues to protest record levels of wealth and income inequality, we turn to an author who says the economy might be becoming more democratic. Gar Alperovitz argues in an op-ed in today's New York Times that we may be in the midst of a profound transition towards an economy characterized by more democratic structures of ownership.
Alperovitz finds that 130 million Americans are members of some kind of cooperative and 13 million Americans work in an employee-owned company. He says the U.S. may be heading towards something very different from both corporate-dominated capitalism and from traditional socialism. Gar Alperovitz is a professor of political economy at the University of Maryland. His op-ed is called Worker Owners of America Unite. It's out today in the New York Times.
Well, it's piling up right beneath the surface that the press, the normal press, hasn't been covering. 130 million people, that's 40% of the United States, involved in credit unions, co-ops all over the country that don't get any publicity. And roughly 13 million people in one kind or another of worker-owned companies. Again, 5 or 6 million more people than are involved in labor unions. And several states are attempting to set up state banks, like the existing Bank of North Dakota. A number of cities are trying to set up city banks, San Francisco and Portland, the latest ones on the list. So if you look deeper, you find wonderful experiments going on.
I think every single person in the working world did some volunteering with Occupy Sandy soon after the hurricane.
If we want a system, a society, an economy that looks the way that the people want, we should give the people control. Like, not just ask them and hope that some benevolent dictator is going to do it. But I mean, if we're going to keep our system of private property, then the way to do that within a system of private property is through, distributed ownership of the means of production in this case, which essentially is what a worker co-op is.
A lot of the immigrants that live here in Sunset Park were already working in very bad conditions, doing domestic work, working in factories, in restaurants. So the ability to kind of work collectively and start your own business and manage it and work in it really was very empowering. So Beyond Care Childcare Cooperative started in 2009 in June.
Una cooperativa es un grupo que se forma en la comunidad para tener empleos mejores, salarios justos, tengamos una flexibilidad en los trabajos y tenemos un contrato para que respeten nuestras horas, nuestras vacaciones y tengamos beneficios formados por la comunidad prácticamente y en el grupo de la cooperativa.
That Beyond Care is structured is that they are a marketing cooperative where each member that belongs to the co-op pays a membership due to use the benefits of it. So the publicity that everybody does collectively means that the jobs that come into the cooperative, they all have an equal chance at getting access to those interviews and jobs.
Ha cambiado mi vida totalmente porque yo de trabajar 8 o 10 horas en un supermercado por un sueldo tan mínimo, ahora yo lo que podía ganar en una semana, tal vez ahora lo puedo ganar en 2 días. Entonces, ha sido fabuloso.
We can create our own promises based on our own dreams, and that's what we're about. The South Bronx has been used as a dumping ground for all the things that no one else wants. Big drop zone for all the waste facilities. Green Worker Cooperatives is creating businesses that are owned by their workers right here in the South Bronx that are able to also actually improve environmental conditions in the community. Rebuilder Source is the first home improvement store specializing in salvaged building materials that is set up as a worker-owned business. Green Worker Cooperatives is an incubator. The steps that we take are to come up with ideas for a business, work on a business plan, feasibility study, raising the capital, recruiting and training the future members of the cooperative. Our vision is to saturate the South Bronx with worker-owned businesses, all of them green.
It's something new. I mean, it's something great, because I would have never thought in a million years that I would be an actual owner. I would have never even thought of that one.
It keeps the money in the community, and it also keeps us employed. And I think that's a win-win situation for us and the community.
My name's Ted DeBarbieri. I'm a staff attorney at the Urban Justice Center, which is a nonprofit legal service provider here in New York City, where we are today. I'm admitted to practice law in New York and Connecticut, and I work primarily with small business cooperatives that are owned by the workers who run the business, in addition to nonprofit organizations, and that specialty involves an understanding of cooperative corporation law, and that's what I'll be speaking about today. So I think the most important issues are really what the business is going to be doing. Are you going to be manufacturing a product or a good? Are you going to be providing a service? Are you going to be a group of individual service providers, like independent contractors, that are essentially coming together to form a marketing cooperative to market your services and your skills, and by coming together to generate additional sales and revenue.
Our first meeting out in the Rockaways with a bunch of people after kind of planning this idea of maybe going to a worker center, trying to bring together people who might be interested in this. Instead of trying to reach out to one group, we said we tell people, hey, well, if you want to start a business and you want it to make it rooted in your community and owned communally as a cooperative, we're going to offer classes to do that and use a worker center or, as a way to reach out. And then we'd be able to teach multiple groups at once.
Nuestra compañía pues tiene por nombre Roca Mía. Ofrecemos servicios de reconstrucción de viviendas, remodelaciones, patios, driveway y todo lo relacionado con la construcción. Nuestros objetivos son brindar servicios profesionales y de gran calidad a nuestros clientes y poderlo hacer al más bajo costo, y así con todo esto poder aportar al desarrollo de la comunidad. También poder crecer como compañía en los beneficios que nosotros podemos obtener al montar la compañía, sino también al crecimiento que podemos darle a la ciudad y el empuje que podemos darle también a la economía, y pues de esa manera poder crecer todos a una forma como una.
We provide home health aides to care for people in their homes. We train people and then we hire them. Everybody who comes to work for the company is entitled to buy a share of the company. One share of the company, that entitles them to have one vote in the issues that concern the company. And in buying one share in the company, when and if we are profitable, they are entitled to one dividend payment.
I am Chris Michael. I started a development company in New York City called Workers Development, and we're on a number of different projects, but the first thing that I want to get started, the first project that I want to do, the first worker co-op that I want to do is just a diner. Just a regular, simple, really boring, really simple diner. And it's going to be called Workers Diner. And it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be a worker co-op. And like all you guys, I have this vision of this place I'd like to create, this wonderful, beautiful, democratic workplace where it's all wonderful and beautiful and no one has a horrible boss. And I need money to do it, unfortunately. I need so much money, it's crazy. I need like $500,000. It's like that crazy. I need that much money. Do you guys like that? Do you guys like $500,000? Okay. So, $500,000 I want to raise. That's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money. And the way we thought about doing, the way I was inspired to do it from talking to people like Mike and Jenny and others, some of you who are in the room, I thought, let me do a direct public offering. Let me stand out on 42nd Street and ask everybody who walks by. I'll have a big sign, a Spider-Man suit, something wacky, Naked Cowboy 3, if you've ever been to 42nd Street. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to raise $500,000, but how am I going to do it?